Greetings. Welcome to Safe Space Talks My Mastery. I'm your host, good girlfriend, Nigeria Anderson, here to share, here to encourage, here to remind you that you are victorious. Why? As a Christian, we believe that Jesus Christ causes us to triumph. He causes us to triumph. He don't cause us to fail. Pin that. Pin that right there. Welcome to the new subscribers. Again, mature audience only. It's live, raw, and uncut. Why? Because I've been through it. And sometimes, can I be real serious with y'all? Like people who haven't been through it, it's kind of rough, like explaining or trying to tell you how to handle the situation when you in dire straits. Okay. So, I'm 14 years in and still, pushing to be solid in my mind, my thoughts, clarity of thoughts. I'm always pushing conscious commands. I'm always pushing because, honey, you got to take care of you. You have to take care of you first. And that leads me to our new campaign, Heal People, because I'm tired of hearing about hurt people. Enough. Okay, where the heal people at? Okay, where the save people at? Where the victorious people at? So sometimes I be thinking like just regular people do some book studies or listen to social media people and then want to be experts. I don't know. But I could tell you the truth that mental health is vital, it's very important, and you need your mind right. Because as I like to say, when your mind ain't right, ain't nothing right. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and I couldn't end this month without talking about it. So, inappropriate sexual behavior. I was exposed to this on the New York City trains. I was exposed to this on the New York City train station, in the New York City train stations in the 80s. We thank God for the guardian angels. If any of y'all ever watch this, please know I say thank you. I say thank you. Your presence made a difference for real, for real. Because prior to that, women were just being bombarded with inappropriate sexual behavior by men masturbating, exposing themselves. If it was a crowded train, they get up on you with an erection, poking you all on your side, your butt, everywhere. It was a lady. She was like, "Get your, you know what, off of me, you sick, you know." I don't cuss. I don't cuss. I don't drink. I don't smoke. So y'all think put in the blanks. Okay. And so, yeah, the New York train system, MTA, horrible. It's the worst. I couldn't wait to graduate, get a car, and never go on the train station again. So, anyway, inappropriate sexual behavior can always go, you can miss it. Okay. Because it may not be that graphic exposure, masturbating, erections. It may just be flirting, and you think, flirting can be considered inappropriate sexual behavior. Like, now me, I'm going to tell you, I'm a flirt. So, I had to examine myself before I got here before you and started talking about sexual behaviors. So if someone doesn't want you like flirting with them or exposing yourself to them and stuff, like you can't do that. Inappropriate kissing, like don't kiss me. Like, I don't know you. I love when someone says, can I, you're having a good conversation and they say, man, this is like, can I hug you? You know, could be, but at least they ask, and then you can say yes or no. Why? Because no means no. Now, with COVID and everything, though, and measles, don't be hugging. Don't let people hug you. Don't let people hug you. Um, yeah, you can be exposed in so many ways. There was a movie that I watched a long time ago. I probably shouldn't have watched it. I was young, but hey, my parents had HBO. So the name of the movie was Lipstick. It came out in 1976. No, I shouldn't have been watching it. But hey, I watched it. It blew my mind. It made me like, it created an awareness though, to like be aware of perverts, you know? So, I mean, I still carry mace today, honey. Don't roll up on me. Do not roll up on me. Okay, so anyway, inappropriate sexual behavior can be subtle, it can be blatant, but I want you to know that we're in danger because now young men and women, and everything I'm talking about relates to both men and women. Yes, some men may be accused of doing more harm than women, but the ladies are out here. It's not, they out here. They out here. Nah, they out here. Okay. They give them cute names like Cougar. Mm, mm. Okay, so young men and women, I mean, we have the internet and it has exposed so many. Even your child is exposed to inappropriate sexual behaviors. This is why I'm talking about this. This is why you got to have conversations with them, because you want to be aware. My dad always told me, if anybody touch you anywhere that you don't feel comfortable, forcefully or unwanted, please let me know. And I would do that. Um, and I felt comfortable enough to tell my dad. I did have a situation where I was in the elevator with a neighbor, and a neighbor pretended like he was tickling me, but he was fondling me. And I told my dad, and my dad didn't yell, he didn't scream. He just said, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it." And that neighbor barely was saying hello, but never got in the elevator with me again and never touched me again, ever. So, but bump. You got to tell your parents that someone was rubbing up on you and you didn't like that. Secondly, my parents didn't let me or my siblings leave the house or stay at anyone's house before we can talk. Like, we just couldn't be over there. We had to be able to come home and say, you know, they asked, was there any drugs, alcohol? Did anybody touch you, yell at you, scream at you? And we were free to be like, yes or no. And thank God we had other good neighbors and that never happened. And, life went on and life was good. But please make sure you speak to your children about inappropriate sexual behavior so they can tell you, we're not doing this. I keep telling you, we in 2025, we have all this access. We have all this access to sexual perversion. It's sickening. It's sickening. Like, you know what I'm talking about. And it's not only on the internet, it's in the movies, it's down the block, it's on the radio, it's everywhere. It's in the commercials. It's not like it wasn't happening before, but to know how frequent it happens is almost too much. Another matter that just disturbs me, how many ignore A-list celebrities, both male and female, who consciously date individuals 15 to 20 years younger than they are. And there's no there's just nothing. It's like it's okay because they're a celebrity. Yeah, let's ask Diddy how he's doing and R. Kelly. So, like, some of them are dating people their own child's age. That you're dating someone the same age as your child. Does that not bother nobody but me? Like, that's disturbing. It could just be me. I'm not in that, because everybody got their lifestyle, right? I mean, everybody got their lifestyle, right? I'm a Christian, so I have a Christian lifestyle. So it bothers me that someone's dating someone their child's age. That freaks me out. That's weird, but hey, And like I said, you can't even watch a salad dressing commercial without without that commercial having sexual overtones. I'm telling you, I forgot the name of the salad dressing, but the guy comes in the kitchen. He has the thing on, but he no shirt, muscles, all greased up. And then he goes around in the kitchen to the counter, and there's a bowl of salad and the salad dressing. He just picks the salad dressing up and he's like this, and then he pours it, and it's all sexual. And I'm like, salad dressing commercial? Stop it. Listen, of course, we understand some of this stems from, being abandoned, not feeling love, rejection, traumatized. Some have been displaced from homes, lack of sexual education, and they need validation. And so it's misappropriate love now being perverted because they need the validation. Is God forbid someone tell them you look good. That validation, boy. Next thing you know, they like, he like me, she like me, I'm likable. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is sexual deviant behavior. I need you to be aware. Yes, I said it. Sexual deviant. I tell you all the time, this is not a channel for the soft at heart. I have to give it to you straight. People are playing too many games with your mind. They're after your mind. I keep telling you that. And no one's believing me. But you will soon one day see. And I have to be here to tell you, you got to think for yourself. And you have to be aware of these people. Because these are just people who've had a traumatic experience and did not address it. And that's why I always say we cannot dismiss people who are in trouble. Even the sexual deviant, even those who's showing sexual inappropriate behavior. It's no time to be like, ooh, It's like, listen, you need some help. You're going to stop acting like that. Okay? Now, so let's get right into it. I do not want us to ignore this behavior, and more importantly, I want you to be able to identify signs. Like I said, my parents did not let me stay at someone's house before I can speak, articulate, understand, and let them know what was going on in that house. Because then maybe I can't go back to y'all house because y'all family special. Now, sexual deviant behavior, also referred to as persistent and recurrent sexual interests, urges, fantasies, or behaviors marked with intensity involving objects like sexual toys and other things that shouldn't be in areas, activities, or atypical in nature. It encompasses behaviors that are outside of what is considered normal or acceptable sexual activity by society. Many disapprove of these sexual desires, fantasies, and practices, initially known as perversion. The devil, he perverts everything. And more recently, as sexual deviance. However, Simply engaging in sexual behaviors that deviate from what is considered normal does not automatically qualify as a mental disorder, because it's not. They don't think so. So, sexual problems can be psychological, psychosexual, okay? Psychosexual disorders can also vary in severity and intensity. These sexual behaviors that I'm talking to you about, yeah, they do not have, they're not considered a mental illness. Only if you have a mental retardation history or a traumatic brain injury. So outside of that, there's no, like, someone who's doing all these sexual deviant behaviors, and they don't consider anything wrong with them. Keep telling y'all, people change the laws to make it fit. Okay? Pin that. Pin that one right there. So, but one thing I'll give the DSM credit for, they are saying concerning sex between two adults, that's y'all's business. But sex between adults and children is always wrong and should be a criminal act. Whew. It should be. And we have tons of organizations that will protect the children, but we still need protection for adults. And that's what's lacking. And that's why we have Sexual Assault Awareness Month, because the adults, just because we're adults, it don't mean I consented. Adults need help too. We need help. If I say no, it's no, right? And then, the Lord, I don't even want to get off track. Let me post up. Here's some information. I didn't want to do the line going across the screen, but I figured I'll just give a post of what's going on. So you have RAIN is the National Sexual Assault Hotline with 24/7 support. You can connect online at rain.org, and that's RAINN, or call 800-656-4673. Domestic and Dating Violence Hotline for y'all teenagers and youngins out there. Think y'all know what y'all doing and don't. The number is 800-799-SAFE. And SAFE is 7233. So that's 800-799-7233. You have to make sure you're educating your children to protect them from pedophiles by educating them about sex. Okay? The next thing I want to talk about is sexual grooming. Sexual grooming is when a sexual predator builds a relationship with a child or adult, male or female, or same sex, or only to abuse and exploit them. Yep. They build trust, but use it to control, isolate, and abuse their victims emotionally, physically, and sexually. That bad person you broke up with, maybe they were a predator and you didn't even know. So God blocked it and he helped you. So don't be thinking about them. Move on. Move on. A groomer often comes across as charming, helpful, and kind at first, because we talk about that mask, that first introduction. It can be easy to trust them and lower your guard, especially if you haven't healed your old wounds. If you haven't addressed your situation, this is why Safe Space Talks is here, because like I told you, this is not coochie cool. No, you play a role sometimes in your trauma. Yeah, sorry. Mature, not sorry. Mature audience only. So, yes, they do that to control you, and then violence and coercion begins to come into play. And then they're forcing you into sexual activities. You're not even, you ain't even like, you, what, put, no, what are you doing? And like I said earlier, like toys, positions, and sexual pleasures, you're just not willing to comply with. Videotaping, having another partner, or S&M. This person is always watching and waiting for that right time to strike. They introduce you to alcohol or drugs. Let's go drink. Let's go drink, right? Let's go drink. Watch them people always saying, let's go drink. And then you always like, ooh, I can't remember what happened last night. Mm. Okay. So I told you I don't drink, cuss, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. So I'm not mocking you. I'm just saying, just don't, be careful of those people. Drink, right? Remember the date drugs they put in your drinks? Oh man, these cats, man, they come up with everything and they're just swindling you and they just, you know, let me keep going. Okay. So you have the right to reject and say no. No to alcohol, no to drugs, no. And this is the one. They introduce you to porn. You ain't never watched porn in your life. Now they talking about, no, just look, watch, look, it's nothing. Ha ha ha. Yeah. So you have the right to reject all of that. No, I don't drink. No, I don't want no drugs. Especially, and I'm not watching porn with you and stuff with people. Get to know a person. Y'all think y'all know a person, his energy, her vibe. Stop that. Stop that. Y'all went on 4 dates and y'all in love. I can't. And this is why waiting for marriage is it's okay. It is okay. That's safe. And I'm not saying you wait for marriage and that person you marry don't may not have issues. But this is why you have to get counseling. This is why we do safe space talks. So we can just really talk about all of this. For real, for real. No cover ups. But if you can't sit still, then listen to the rest of this video. Groomers appear innocent oftentimes if they are after your child. They are very nice to that single mother or that father or the parents. Parents get psyched out too. Why? To get their guard down. Again, to build trust. These people are always trying to get your favor, but ain't nobody giving you favor like God's favor and discernment to figure this stuff out. Creepy crawlers. Right? Okay. So they're trying to access your child, get that access to you feeling comfortable leaving your child with them. I'll babysit. I'll pick your child up from school. I love the schools. I love the schools that have put this protective measure that you have to be on a list to pick up the child. Because you know that was a thing, honey. People just going picking up your kid and they ain't even on no list. Now you going to school wondering where your kid is. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for protecting our children. And we still today, family, we got to protect our kids. They're vulnerable and impressionable. They don't know. They think they know. They think they know. They don't know. But we can't be yelling and screaming and trying to force them to know. We just have to talk to them and educate them so they can get to know. Okay, y'all know I get the Holy Spirit. Then I start preaching. So I'm going to stay focused. So the point of them getting access to your child, like I said, wanting you to feel comfortable leaving your child alone with them and they picking your child up from school or y'all all going to the park all the time. Why do you always want to be around me and my child? Start second and third level questioning people. All right. Now, if they're after an adult, it's the same thing. It's dinner, drinks, right? Invited to events or giving you gifts they appear charming, and like I said, they pay attention to details. So watch people, okay? Your hair, your hair is nice, your nails, right? Your shoes, right? Always checking you out head to toe. I remember I was hanging out with some friends, and my friend's friend, who I wasn't friends with, but you know, when you're in a group, you got groups of friends. And one day she was like, in the summertime, I like to wear my baseball caps because of the sun. I'm not a shades person, so I use the baseball cap. And she was like, you notice, she said, you've been wearing a different baseball hat all week. How many do you have? Why are you asking me that? You're not my friend. I don't even know you. And so, like, that was to me inappropriate. So I was like, I can't even hang out with y'all. Like, you don't look at me like you. Why is you focused on my hats and how many hats I have? You're paying too much attention to me. And I'm not trying to scare people or make you super like cautious, but maybe I am. Because it be the little things that we always just let slide. We just let it slide. They meant it. They're paying attention. They are um, trying to find their way in. Now, what if I would have said, "Oh, you like my hats? Oh," that would have been the engagement language, or she would have felt like, oh yeah, there's this connection, and probably talked about a hat she had. Child, no, no. So again, watch people who are watching you. Again, it be the smallest things, and follow your gut feeling. That made me feel very uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable that you noticed. Like she said, you wore a blue one Tuesday, and she was breaking it down the colors, and I was that you freaking me out. So of course I ain't hang out with them for a while. Um, you have to watch the boyfriend who says, "We both consenting adults. We grown, right? All this we grown." Yeah, sexual predators like to tell you how grown and sexy, right? You are. Hmm. Okay. And then next thing you know, he grabbing your hand and placing it on his private area. Or same thing. Watch the women who be like, "Nah, you could touch me," and they talking to your child. Just warning signs. Just warning signs. I know. I know. I know. Mature audience only. Now, I know there's some freaky people out there, but you cannot impose your freakiness on others. Groomers are not always strangers. They're not. They can be someone you know that, I ran into my old high school friend. Mm, um, You 50. High school was very long. You don't know that person in life. You remember the fun times y'all had in high school, but they let's catch up. It could be a family member. It could be a coworker, a prominent member of your community. Everybody love this person. This is going on in Hollywood, right? Everybody love that person, and then boop, here come the curtain pull down of their sexual assaults, and now we still love them. I'm just asking y'all. I'm just asking y'all questions. I'm just asking y'all. Um, they could be groomers are often in powers of positions like celebrity, bosses, managers, police officers, politicians, teachers, doctors, lawyers, judges, clergy, and those who have been sexually rejected. They also try to isolate you. You got to be careful of people who don't want to be around your friends. Like, I just don't like to be around a lot of people. I talk about that a lot. Isolation. You got to start realizing, and this is why I love where I grew up. I grew up with a wonderful group of male and females. We looked out for each other. We fought for each other. We will mess with one. it was like you mess with one, you mess with us all, right? So predators, that wasn't gonna go down. And we told each other. We wasn't ashamed. It'd be like, yo, you trying to kiss me? What? Whatever. So we told. But we were young, fun, those days carefree. Like, look, and we were educated though about sexual predators. So I guess maybe that played a role. You gotta have someone you can talk to. You gotta have someone um that you can share. And I always say, when you want to tell someone some important news, or you have something you just got to get off your chest, start the conversation simply by saying, I have something to share with you, but I don't want you to respond immediately. I just need to get this off my chest. I want to share it with you. And we can revisit it later, but I got to drop this on you. I was at his house. I knew I shouldn't have went, and things got awkward. And I just want you to know. And I feel a way, and I just needed to tell somebody. But let's not talk about it right now. Let's talk about it another time, if that's okay. Please, please, and don't say anything to anyone right now. I needed to tell you that. That could be your mama, your grandma, your aunt. Tell your aunties are the bomb. I'm a professional aunt. Godmommies are the bomb. Tell your godmommy, tell your uncle, tell your auntie, grandma. Um, because you got some parents that can't handle it. Now, if you know your parents can't handle that, you got to talk to somebody, or email us at safespacetalks@gmail.com. Tell us. We'll guide you through it. Because that isolation thing is real stuff. Okay. And most of the groomers play on your vulnerability because of what you have told them. And I tell you all the time, stop going on the first date. And me and my parents, we don't really get along. And my sister this and my brother that. And that ain't none of their business. You want to talk about it? Go to therapy. I'm sorry, mature audience only. I told you we're not coochie coo over here. Okay, I'm not gonna coochie you. No coochie coo. Go to therapy. Go to a counselor. Okay, and or someone, you gotta confide in somebody. Who in your family? Because everybody in the family got a prophet with someone in the fivefold ministry. Go tell them. Now, if they can't handle it, then I don't know. Email us, okay? But you have to tell. People are vulnerable. We all, it's in our nature to want to be loved. It's in our nature to be connected and in a relationship, but we gotta do it right, family. We gotta do it right. Please stop telling people your business, where you work, what you do. What do you want with that information? How come you giving me like 20 questions? And let's just enjoy the meal. Let's just have a conversation. How are you feeling about the economy? What do you feel about, what was the last movie you saw? What was the last book you read? Talk about something mutual, not your personal family business. And then my aunt, we built a house over here, and then stunting and trying to show off, they may rob you. Okay, I'm just saying. Just tell it to a therapist. They'll be better to help you, and then you'll be getting yourself whole. And then you can go on dates. I go on dates all the time. Like, you go on dates and enjoy the evening and conversation without sex. Okay, let me see. Let me tell you something. When you're talking to somebody, you're engaged, right? And you're telling them things. They are like collecting your data, right? We're talking about cyber security, mouth security. Need to have some mouth security. Shh. Stop saying all of that. Because the person who has your ear has your mind. I'm going to go on and say it again. The person who has your ear has your mind. So, all right, let me keep going. Other signs of a groomer you might ignore is someone who often touches you a lot, putting their arm around you. I ain't say you could hug me. Right? Touching your leg, your inner thigh. What your hand doing on my inner thigh? Which may seem like nothing, right? Because we just some people, I never say all of us. Some of us, they put their arm around, we like me. No, what is underarm state? Okay, I'm only joking about it. All right, touching your leg, but moving their hand up in your upper thigh. And this may seem like nothing to them, but they're getting off on that. And what they're really doing is gaining space and desensitizing you to the overt space of invasion. They have invaded your space and you have agreed. All right. All right. All right. I tell you, I get passionate about this stuff because, you know, it is not a joke. Okay. Sex offender behaviors. We coming down a pipeline. I'm gonna pipe myself down. But we talk about impulses, fetishes, urges that's uncontrollable. These are the type of people we're talking about. And a sex offender is a person who commits a crime involving a sexual act. And we thank God that these people go to jail. They commit these acts against children and adults. Okay, they try to fulfill their fetishes. Remember, we talked about S&M. The sexual offender may rape, use sexual violence, and pedophiles are those who groom and are attracted to children and teens entering into puberty. That's why you got to talk to your kids. And let me tell you something. I passed a high school, and these girls and boys, they didn't look like how we looked in high school. I got some pictures. We look like kids, I was like, okay, is it the milk or the water? Because I don't remember looking like. I can show you some high school pictures. I was thin, awkward. We all kind of had our swag and stuff, but like these kids. So anyway, fetishes. These people are the ones I talked about. The people who engage in sexual crimes like flashing. Thank God that's masturbating in public. They're the ones who put the cameras in the locker room, the hotel rooms, the bathrooms. They're voyeurs, right? They take photos of body parts. Your butt, your breast, blah, 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 blah. They watch porn, including child porn. There's no single cause for someone to become a sex offender. I don't know, I'm not a therapist, but I'm sure it came from somewhere. They say there's no single cause of why someone becomes a sex offender, but it has to come from somewhere. So, the environment, movies, films, the salad dressing commercial. Okay, so anyway, say you have a boss, right, and you're doing a good job, and everybody's cheering you on, and you're killing it quarter after quarter. And your boss comes and say, "Hey, you're doing a good job. I want to introduce you to this next level project." Blah blah blah. All of a sudden, right? He starts making sexual advances, or she starts making sexual advances towards you. And what happens? Your frontal cortex, which helps you to make rational decisions, becomes under stress and you lose your frame of thought, that's what happens to you. That's why sometimes you can't remember. That's why you black out. That's why people faint, can't fight back. They just lose it, right? You lose your frame of thought. You're under so much stress. Your body's in fight or flight because you are being threatened. And when you're threatened, your mind will go and it will start trying to figure out how to survive. It's going into survival mode. It's going into coping. You're trying to cope with the situation. It's in survival mode. And this is why, because I used to ask this question too. But this is why people comply. No, they don't want to be molested. They don't want you touching on them. They don't want to be raped. They don't want to be sexually assaulted. But because they're in survival mode, they comply. Because what they're thinking is, if I don't comply, this person, because that person is a whole new person to you now. You don't even know who this person is. They're showing you this horrible dark side. You've been dating them for 100 million years, and now all of a sudden their dark side come out, and you're confused. No, you don't want to engage, even though you may have engaged prior. Mature audience only. They've been putting you in fear and isolation. They've been requesting and making demands on you. And now, so those feelings, those emotions, do not let that stop you from reporting. And this is why a lot of people don't report. Someone unlocked you in the room and threatens you, and you don't have no weapon or a way out. Yeah, you gonna comply. Because how else you don't, like I said, you think they might kill me. All right, listen to me. Y'all with me still? Thank you. I didn't ask y'all to subscribe and like and stuff, but do that. Make some comments below. Make comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. While sexual abuse is always a violation, sometimes you may experience bodily responses associated with the pleasure of the violent act. Why? Your body has a natural response to sexual pleasure, even though you're not enjoying it. But don't feel shame. Don't feel shame. Still report. Now, because the offender has built trust with you, they bank on you not reporting it because you have spoken well of them before. And people have seen y'all together and remember the arm around you, the hand on your leg, and people have witnessed that, and you ain't shove their hand away from you or get their arm, get your arm, we can do that, get your arm from around me. And so they bank on that. You're not going to say what happened because you feel shame. And because we were in public and people know me and you go together or we was together. So if you tell them, I'm just going to, here's their line. Oh God, who's going to believe you? Well, people are going to start believing you because the rate is skyrocketing. So don't worry. It's not like before when it was just a few people reported and they got, humiliated. Now it's a thing. It's a thing. We got TV shows. We got Law and Order, SVU, and Crime and Crimes, and Busted, and all. They know. They know. So get a rape kit. Go to the hospital. Get a rape kit. and then report. Go to the hospital, get a rape kit, and then report. They're going to report probably when you get to the hospital. So I don't want you to feel shame that, your body moved and grooved and you felt like, oh, snap, and you didn't really want to have sex. That's just a natural, that's part of our nature. Doesn't mean you wanted it. That's why they be like, you liked it. Don't listen to that. You don't have to listen to that. You go on and report. And those in high positions who helped you get a job, they bank on you not reporting because you don't want to jeopardize the relationship or lose your job. Lose your job, get another job. Do not suffer because this person is in position or power. Report when you have been sexually violated. You can reach out to us at safespacetalks@gmail. What I want to suggest to those watching, these are some things you have to take note. Because again, I don't want you to be part of your own trauma. I don't. So I can't just tell you things and not have you ask your own self second and third level questions. Like how have you dealt with dominant people in your life, male or female? Did you just let them roll over you, bully you, and just take advantage of you? Because most likely you may be a victim of a sexual offender. Women, how did you respond to unwanted advances? Because feel free to say no. Now, what's so bananas is that in Harlem a couple of years back, I believe, a woman was minding her own business, coming from work. Boy tried to say hello to her. She didn't say hello. She didn't say anything. Now, I'm the type of person, if someone says hello to me, I say hello. Now, if someone advances, don't take another step further. I said hi. Go on now. Today not a good day for me. And keep it moving. Look at people. Another situation in downtown Manhattan, a woman was walking, a gentleman was following her, and she said, I felt in my gut, I knew he was dangerous, but I didn't want to cross the street because I didn't want to offend him. What? What? The man slashed her face and took the woman who didn't say hello to the gentleman in Harlem, he bit her face. So be very aware. Pause, stop, look at your surroundings. Listen, look for routes of escape. When I have a history working with the mentally ill. So, is when you get in that situation, skip and all of that, you got to start evaluating the escape routes, the help routes. This, y'all pulling out phones. No, pull out your keys and get ready to fight. Okay, scratch his eyes out, smack his face, kick him in the nuts. Okay, so just feel free to say no, and with caution and watching your surroundings, right? Because like I said, I try to give y'all the whole situation. Now Taylor Swift, a celebrity, right? She was at a meet and greet, and she just won her sexual assault lawsuit. Woo woo! Good for you, Taylor Swift. I hope more celebrities step out. I hope if you're a celebrity and non-celebrities, step out, right? And tell and report against the former radio DJ David Mueller, who she accused of groping her during her 2013 meet and greet. You can't just touch people's butts. She said when he grabbed her butt, she went through a shock. She lost words to say. Remember, I said your frontal cortex, that stress, you'll forget how to, what words to say. Like you could just freeze, right? Freeze, flight, fight, or flight. So this is real body responses. This is how the mind works. Safe space talks mind mastery. This is how your mind works. You know, he just grabbed her butt. What if she was in a room, a small room, no window, one door, he locks it. If she felt that way and he grabbed her butt, what you think would happen in a tight space? So don't, this is why I'm sharing. Yes, you may have had a sensation, but if that's not what you wanted, you have to report. All right, so sexual violation, it happens. Sexual assault is a real thing. It's unwanted and it is scary for adults and children. It is awful. It's bad. And when it's happening, you are placed in a fear and flight state. This is why some people faint, like I mentioned. And in 2025, it was reported when someone has violated you, male or female, tell someone. Again, here are some numbers you can call and report, and I'll put it up there for you. There it is. No means no. Be mindful of accidentally touching when someone's touching you, especially in your private parts. And don't be letting people just pat you on your butt for no reason. Like, no. It's odd that in sports they should ban that, but okay. Don't be play wrestling. That play wrestling, telling sexual jokes, talking about sexual topics. They all trying to engage to see where your sexual freaky bone is. Don't engage. Be mindful of those expensive gifts and cash. And I mentioned this in a previous video. And to me, this is the biggest red flag of them all for all predators and everyone who's trying to invade your space. Okay. They start to become detached from their family members. Like when you first met them, oh, that's my so and so. This my friend, this my good friend. And then all of a sudden, you don't see them, they mad at their parents, or them and that friend ain't cool no more. Them and the friend who they was, this my friend, they not cool no more. And then the excuse they'll give you? They upset them, there was a fallout, but everything is cool and it will work out. Again, the small things, those little lies. Okay. So, listen, I hope this was helpful. Again, I thank y'all for just listening to me. Y'all don't have to, and I appreciate all y'all who do and who share. Because if you find this information helpful, share. Because I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying. I might not give it to you the way, I don't know, some of these podcasters do, because I'm not them. I'm me. And my main point for being here is to definitely give you a message. I'm not here to entertain you, even though sometimes it may be entertaining. Again, I talk about trauma, what causes trauma, how you play a role in your trauma, mature audience only, how to notice trauma, and how it affects you. Safe Space Talks Mind Mastery. We heal where heal people heal people. So that's my time. See you next week. Same bad channel, same bad time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, noon here on YouTube. I love me some y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Please. And we need more subscribers. Otherwise, they think we don't care about our mental wellness. So just help me. Help others. That's all I'm asking from you. All right? Help me help you. I know. Tell me, put in the chat what movie that's from, and I personally will send you $100. Help me help you. All right, later.